Sanji and the Uzumakis by Cockcent. Hi everyone, Flying Panda. In this video will be about all my Sanji theories into one video using comparisons from Naruto and the Uzumaki manga. The first part of this theory will be about Sanji's Kenbunshoku ability's connection to Uzumaki's ability. The second part will be the connections between the Vinsmokes and the Uzumaki manga by Juji Ito. This will allow me to point out similarities that can possibly highlight the Vinsmokes' background. Let's begin. While there are those who sense chakra, the Uzumaki senses the feelings and intent via chakra. It happened with Kusami after Naruto met his mother and beat Kurama. Naruto could sense Kasami's killer intent from within Samihada. Karin from Naruto was a Uzumaki as well. She was a sensory type ninja. She could detect and sense others through their chakra. She was also able to detect their feelings and emotions via the chakra. There was a moment when she could sense Sasuke's evil intentions. She was in love with Sasuke and could feel his change. Sanji has been shown to have decent observational haki. I think that Sanji's observational haki is like the Uzumaki's sensory type abilities. There have been instances where Sanji has sensed feeling and intent. This isn't a usual observational ability. Observational haki is just awareness, being aware of things without seeing them with your eyes physically. We see that Usopp could see auras of Law, Luffy and Sugar. It was from a ridiculous far distance. Sanji could seek out Kinemon torso in dark seawater. Movements can be predicted, so that is a standard color of observation. What I think Sanji has mastered is being able to sense feeling and intent. They can be killer intent from Katakuri. Katakuri tried to shoot Sanji and got a direct glare in return. This is very like Naruto sensing Kasami's killer intent. He was hiding in Samihada. Most sensory types ninjas couldn't detect him, but Naruto did. This was because he could feel the killer intent. And hidden feelings from Viola and Pudding. Viola was hiding her true feelings while attacking Sanji. Sanji could see through the actions and be aware of her feelings. Pudding could carry out evil deeds and Sanji saw her eye, but close up, and was able to call her beautiful. I think he also felt her hidden feelings. Feelings from Tashigi. From so far away, Sanji sensed Tashigi's despair. This was a feeling that Tashigi felt strongly about. She was fighting against someone she considered an ally at once. Pudding, Tashigi and Viola can also be said to have an analogous situation to Sanji. Dofi, Lilin and Virgo are people who cause those three emotional abuse. Sanji has the same relationship with Judge, who has emotionally harmed him multiple times. This might or not be connected to Sanji's special observational haki, but Sanji was able to sense the goodness in ZORO. This has been a theme for Sanji. The philosophy behind cosmetology is seeing beauty behind the physical and being an individual beauty by treating them out physically. Seeing the true feelings behind the physical. This was before the time skip where Sanji kicks changed the structure of ZORO's looks. This fixed his issue where he looked like Sanji. That was his root for his hatred for Sanji. Sanji seen through that and corrected it. In real life there's a saying, you look good, you feel good. I think that Sanji could see behind ZORO's face even though he was pissed at the bounty picture and see someone suffering. I will go as far as to say his Katakuri possibly covers his mouth for a reason that is known to almost nobody. This is a recurring theme among some of Lilin's children. Cracker had a weakness that probably isn't largely known and he revealed it to Nami and Luffy. It is a low tolerance for pain, and Pudding hid a third eye. I think that if Sanji fights Katakuri, this mystery might be undercovered, and Sanji will give him the ZORO treatment. This would further prove underlying feelings theme that I've been getting at. The purpose of this ability would one of the characteristics of Sanji, that is how considerate he is. He is very considerate from his background story, where he took his mother's foot and tried to learn how to cook, to surviving with Zeph, and how Zeph left a great impression on him. The passion was to care for others.
Now for the scary Vinsmoke part.
Cockcent has been reading Uzumaki by Juji Ito recently. It is a great horror manga from the 90s. The spiral pattern in it and the curse in the town is connected. People in the story are obsessed with the spiral patterns all over the city once they drink the water of Kurozu Cho that is going around. It is everywhere from the sky to the lake and the buildings. The obsession leads to them transforming and at times dying. I will go through some of these moments from the ZORO chapter manga and then state each individual moment's importance to the Vinsmoke's possible background. Shuichi is Kiri's, the protagonist's, friend. His father was cursed from being obsessed with the spiral patterns. One of the first signs of the transformation was his tongue. Spoiler alert, there was a boy who got picked on at school who had the spiral pattern on his back. This pattern grew and he ended up being like a snail monster. It is also revealed that many of the snails in town used to be human. The boy was picked on by a bully. This bully was seen drinking water at the school before turning into a snail. They mated and escaped a fence that they were kept in. They left a fluid trail. There were mollusks everywhere in the hills the snails escaped. Mollusks are snail children. The protagonist Kiri had spiral patterns in her hair and had to cut it because it kept going wild and causing chaos. It even battled another girl's hair. It was hard to trim because it would fight back. The spiral curse has also transformed some of the people. There was a couple that were in love that ended up transforming their bodies, starting twisting and extending. There was a character that killed himself due to his obsession with Kiri. He ended up with a spiral spring in his body and bounced around like Bellamy. I think that using these examples, I can answer some mysteries about Germa and the Vinsmokes. First, what is bioculture liquid? The clones are shown to be created in the lab. They are in tubes and surrounded by bioculture liquid. I think that the clones are like mollusks from the Uzumaki manga. The fluid possibly comes from the snail that the Germans like to use so often. They use snails to travel. I think the fluid from the snails helped the growth of the clones. We can see the massive size of the snails when seen carrying the kingdom. I think that some of the snails are also mutated clones. The snails used in the One Piece world has possibly been due to the Germa. We've seen them being used to communicate, record and travel. I think that snails are primarily used to the Germa's experiments. The M in MB, MST and MH might mean mollusk. The B, ST and H might pertain to certain characters' DNA that were used for the specific type of soldiers. There have been many great theories about Kamen Riders and insects being the basis of any mutation of the Vinsmokes, as my friend Marco the theorist mentioned. These are dope, but I think that I can add other possibilities to complement them. The Vinsmoke's children have been shown to have spiral brows. I think when these eyebrows extend, they spiral even more and is part of each child's transformation. I've tried to find panels with Sanji's back even though he already has spiral pattern backgrounds. Is it possible that Sanji's back might have spiral patterns on it? I didn't find a good look at his back. The possibilities of them monster-like features and transformation. Hair grows out of control. I think the Vinsmoke's hair might curl in a spiral pattern. I could see Inazuma attempting to cut Sanji's hair and having trouble. Bone spiraling and body as well. Tongue extending with a spiral pattern. Shells and wings made from their exoskeleton. I also think that the Vinsmokes can form the elements like wind, lightning or fire around their bodies. Characters in the Uzumaki were able to utilize wind around their bodies. In conclusion, Sanji has a special Kenbunshoku Haki ability to sense feelings and intent. It's very similar to Uzumaki Clan's ability from Naruto. Sanji is said to almost even be named Naruto at one point, as I mentioned in my previous video. His eyebrows even spiral like the Uzumaki Clan symbol. The Vinsmoke's eyebrows might even spiral even more than they already do, before transforming into a snail monster type creature with insect related abilities like mentioned in other theories. The Germa makes use of their snail fluids, the bioculture liquid, to help their clones' growth rate. For future reference, in this manga, I found many things that were interesting off topic. I didn't include it, so I encourage some to read. The main characters and her friend found a new galaxy with telescopes, and I did mention before about Sanji and the UFO telescopes. They informed their teacher. He found them that he contacted a buddy that was into astronomy. Buddy started experimenting frequencies that contacted him from the spiral-shaped galaxies that the protagonist and a friend found. He went to the friend of Kiri's house and asked him to give the rights to claim the find. He was almost obsessed about it and was persistent about the boy giving up the rights to the find or he'll kill him, similar to like Marshall D. Teach and Thatch. I hope you enjoyed this theory. It was made by my friend Cockcent from Oro Jackson, so do check out the link down below. What do you think of this video? Please leave comments down below. Please click like, and if you haven't, please subscribe. Flying Panda.